So today I need to extract the Mighty Metro. It's been a bit buried and neglected in here. It's got a 1.8 143 VVC engine in it, soon to be a 1.8k turbo engine. So I'm going to pull that out today and get that stripped down. So let's get started. It's a good job it's light. So there she is, 1.8 VVC, custom loom, induction kit, manky, filthy dirty, as you can see. It's got some grot on it. We've got to have a good clean up. Worst bits are this rear arch. I've cut it bigger so it wasn't so sharp. We have got replacement panels. The roof is starting to go, as you can see all along there. Again, I've got a replacement roof section up there. I've got all the replacement arches there. I've got GTI side skirts and front bumper trim. She's pretty stripped. Just a little bit of an interior. Battery lives in the boot. We've got a uprated fuel pump in there, but it's not going to be big enough for the turbo, so that's got another one on its way. Again, bottom rear valance needs doing. I could cut that out and put a full size rear bumper on, but this is the little 1.1C narrow, short, thin bumper. Probably going to keep it, don't know yet. Depends how good the repair work is, I suppose, if we need to hide it. This arch is just starting to go, but again, we've got repair panels. It just needs a good clean up, and probably a repaint at some point. I'd like a roll cage in it as well, so we've got to order one of those at some point, but for now it's just to get the turbo engine in and running, and make sure everything works. So let's begin the strip down. So the exhaust for the VVC was kindly made by my friends Lucy and Andy. Done the job initially, but where the car was so low and the boxes are so big, it kept hitting the floor, and in the end it just tore it apart a bit. So obviously going turbo will get a proper exhaust made, but that's that first bit off. Sitting around hasn't been kind to it. The wishbones are rotted through. It's only been sat a few months, but obviously it was bad enough. We've got MGF drilled and grooved discs and calipers. You can see they just fit there. We had to do a few modifications, but they're in. Obviously the subframe is going to need a good tidy up and paint. I'll see if I can get that blasted. So right, let's start disconnecting. Next we'll do the PG1 gear linkage. Right, so the question is now, what have we forgot to undo? Let's find out, shall we? Got to unclip the brake lines.
Hang tight, don't think I forgot to take it, it is coming.
There we go. Right, so we've got the VVC engine and the subframe from the Metro, with all the gear, running gear, gearbox, wiring loom, etc. What we've got to do is get this engine off this frame. So we've got to drop the bottom ball joint so we can get the shafts out, undo the mounts on each side, probably take this whole bar out, pull one of the shafts out and then lift it clear. And then we've got to take off the gearbox because I need a flywheel. Seems a shame to split all this, but I do need a flywheel from a normal sort of K series, because the turbo from the Rover 75 has a dual mass flywheel, and obviously we want rid of that. So we've got to split this one down. I thought I might have one somewhere, but I can't seem to find one. So the only option really is to split this apart, have the flywheel out, and then sell just the engine with the loom, etc. for another Metro conversion. Obviously the gearbox can go with it. They've just got to get a flywheel, and the clutch can even stay with it, for example. So all they've got to do is get a flywheel. But yeah, for now, we just got to strip this apart. Right, so we had a bit of a problem. The lower ball joint retaining pinch bolt has seized, so we've got to change wishbones anyway, so we'll have to have that out later. So I've just undone the actual wishbone from the subframe to get the angle to get the drive shaft out. We've obviously taken this mount out and this engine mount that we're going to need to use on the turbo, and I've undone the gearbox mount on the other side. So really now we should be able to lift this out of the frame, and then we're left with a bare frame. We've already undone the lower stability mount when it was up on the ramp underneath, because I knew that's a bit of a pain in the backside to get to when it's on the floor. So that's where we're at now. So there we go, one subframe. Obviously we can put the turbo engine and the BRM PG1 on there for a trial fit, and then obviously put it in the car, but eventually it will go off and be blasted, powder coated, new bushes, etc. And then one VVC engine. I'll be getting the box off that shortly. As I say, I need a flywheel off it, and then that can be listed and advertised. I've done, well, before it went in the Metro, it was in an MGF for all of about a week, and it had head gasket, cam belt, water pump, the whole lot done. So it's done literally no mileage, probably 2,000 or 3,000 if that. So it should be good to go for someone, and it'll have the MPI converted loom, so that'd be good, not good for another Metro conversion. So that's where we're at the moment. Time to move on. So there we go, boxes off, engine separated, we're ready to sell. Right, so that's the engine out. Next time, join us to where we swap the bits over from the VVC to the turbo engine, so it's ready to go in. So if you like what you see, like, subscribe and share, and we'll see you soon in the next one. Thanks guys.